It was the night my camera caught a shadow that moved. Now, most of you know I love exploring abandoned places, but every once in a while I come across a location that even I am too afraid to enter alone. This is one of those stories. Last month, I traveled to Blackwood Forest. Locals begged me not to go there, especially at night. Apparently, if you do, the wraith will find you. I figured it was just a story, likely a made-up legend to keep people away. So I planned to spend the night in the woods and capture whatever or whoever is hiding there on camera. In researching the history of the forest, I came across an article detailing the strange disappearance of a hiker named John Clayton in 1923. He was an experienced outdoorsman, but he vanished without a trace after entering Blackwood. His journal was found on the forest floor months later, and it detailed a terrifying experience of being stalked by something unnatural. He wrote of feeling an evil presence in the woods, describing it as a dark, shapeless form that watched him from the trees. And he mentioned seeing glowing red eyes that seemed to pierce the darkness and follow his every move. These entries were written in the days leading up to his disappearance. And the last entry ended with, "The eyes in the dark are watching. I can feel its gaze upon me. I must keep moving. But where?" His words unsettled me, but I dismissed them as the rambling of a madman. Still, I couldn't help but wonder if there was something sinister lurking in the woods, something that had driven poor John to such a state of mind. I parked my car at the edge of the forest and began setting up my camera on a tripod to film some night-lapse footage. It was then I noticed something odd. My camera battery, which was fully charged when I arrived, was now dead. Thinking it was just a fluke, I grabbed my backup battery and began recording. As I walked deeper into the woods, I could feel my heart racing. Not because of any real danger, but because of the unsettling feeling that I was being watched. About an hour into my hike, I reached a clearing and set up camp for the night. I placed my camera on a nearby rock, facing the trees, and recorded the surrounding area. Then I settled in to wait for something to appear. I sat in silence, listening to the sounds of the forest. And just as I began to think I might be wasting my time, I saw it. A dark, human-shaped shadow streaked across the clearing, darting between the trees. I watched in disbelief as it moved swiftly and erratically, almost as if it were trying to evade something. Then just as quickly, it vanished from sight. My mind raced, trying to make sense of what I had just seen. I told myself it was just a trick of the light or perhaps a stray animal. But deep down, I knew I was in the presence of something truly eerie. My hands trembled as I reached for my camera to check the footage, and what I saw made my blood run cold. On the screen, I saw the shadow again, clear as day. It had moved without any visible source of light. There was no wind or animals nearby. It was as if the shadow had materialized out of thin air. I watched in horror as I replayed the clip, zooming in on the figure. What I saw next sent shivers down my spine. Two faint glowing dots like eyes stared back at me from the darkness. I felt a chill crawl up my spine as I realized I had stumbled upon something truly terrifying. I packed up my things and hurried home. The shadow and those eerie eyes burned into my memory. But the experience didn't end there. Back at home, I pored over the footage, analyzing every frame. And in one of them, those glowing dots appeared again, closer than before. It was as if they were peering directly at me through the camera lens. I reached out to a friend, a video tech, and sent him the clip. He looked at it, shook his head, and said there was no explanation. No glitch, no trick, no camera malfunction. Just a shadow that moved and two eyes that watched from the dark. Have you ever caught something creepy on camera? Share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more chilling tales like this one. We bring you the most frightening stories from around the world every week. Have you ever caught something creepy on camera? Comment below and subscribe to Mysticals for more chilling tales every week.